Every now and then, two people will find each other like a chance in the dark, and they will come from different backgrounds with different likes and dislikes, but they will find their happy place. And when those two people meet, their connection will be unbreakable. And the love that they will share is something of history books because they know that they are meant to be together. They often wonder, how can opposites attract to be together for so long? Well, you're going to find out in this episode of the Relationship Therapy Podcast as we talk about how Tony and Valerie met.
Everyone listen up because it's time for the Relationship Therapy Podcast with your host, Tony Miller Sr. and co-host, Valerie Miller. They are going to do their best to take your relationship to the next level. Whether you are married or whether you are dating, Tony and Valerie are going to give you the hard facts and solid principles you need to strengthen your relationship. Now, here are your hosts, Tony and Valerie.
Hello, everybody. This is Tony.
And Valerie.
And welcome to another episode of the Relationship Therapy Podcast. Yes, I've got my queen with me in this episode because we have a very special episode that we want you to hear. Ain't it right, Valerie?
Yes, sir, my king.
In this episode, we're going to tell you how the two of us met. And I'm just going to tell you, it may be some laughter going on. You're going to see how silly we really are, but it's going to be an episode that is going to show you how this couple who has been married 36 years met. If, like the old TV show said, How I Met Your Mother, this is how Tony and Valerie Miller met. So stay tuned for how we met. As we begin to talk about how we met, I believe Valerie wants to start off by saying some stuff that really needs to be stated.
How did we supposed to meet, Tony?
You tell your story.
Well, my supervisor told me that she knew the perfect guy for me because she knew I was single and we would make pretty babies. So she gave me Tony information and we exchanged phone numbers and we called each other and we made arrangement to meet each other at work one night. And I went out and got my hair done, nails done, toes, I got a whole outfit, and I was really looking forward to meeting Tony that night at work. I worked in concession at, one of the recreation centers. And he stood me up. He never showed up. And I was just heartbroken, y'all.
Hold up. I did not stand her up. Truth is, I was moving into my apartment and I had sent a note to her to let her know that I was not going to be able to meet her that night. Obviously, she didn't get it. You didn't get it.
Sure didn't.
So she didn't get that message. But I do know the first time we actually met was at a tournament. I was running a tournament at a certain age group, and her supervisor came upstairs and told me, Tony, this is the night to meet Valerie. She's downstairs. So I go downstairs and I see this great looking woman with the most beautiful smile serving customers. And so I got in line because I had to talk to this woman. And I ordered a medium Coke, which was 75 cents. And I gave Valerie $5. Valerie, what happened with that?
Child, I saw that name tag, Tony Miller. Oh, it caught me off guard because I was not expecting him that night. So I tell you, my mind was gone. I mean, I became a nervous wreck. I gave him the coat, but I gave him a coat, $5, someone plus some change. He blew my mind, y'all.
Well, there you have it. That's how we originally met. And so I went back up to the tournament so that we could hurry up and get it finished because I really wanted to spend some more time with her and get to know her. But right when I bought the Coke, I saw a necklace around her neck and there was a T on that necklace. And I said to her, "What does that T stand for, Tony?" And she told me it was
Thomas.
it was for Thomas, her father's name. She wanted me to know it did not stand for Tony. She made that adamantly clear. But we continued the tournament, and I was rushing to get the trophies out and get back downstairs to meet her. And when I got downstairs, she was not there. And I was scratching my head trying to figure out where is this beautiful smile woman at. I really wanted to know more about her and set up a date. I couldn't even find her supervisor. And when I finally saw her supervisor, she said she had went home. Valerie, tell them why you went home.
I went home because I had got sick. I was so upset because I actually met Tony that night and I was not prepared. I didn't have on a new outfit. I just was not prepared. And I think I just got so worked up and I made myself sick. I ended up having a migraine headache. And I told my supervisor, I can't work tonight. I got to go home. I cannot work tonight. And I really know it was because Tony, he caught me off guard. And he blew my mind. You talking my fine? Oh my God. Ooh, he was so fine, y'all.
Well, there you have it. That's how we met. But now we're getting ready to go in to tell you about our first date. I hate to cut in to this episode, and I know that you're enjoying it and you probably got some commentary that you want to make. But I'm here to let you know if you are a fan of the Relationship Therapy Podcast with Tony Miller Sr. and with Valerie B. Miller, I want you to know that we are right now in search of sponsors and advertisers. And if you want to be one of those, send us an email expressing what you want to do, and we will give you the listing of how to be an advertiser and how to be a sponsor, because we would really love you to be a part of what we're doing here at the Relationship Therapy Podcast. So don't forget, email us at tmrelationshiptherapy@gmail.com. That is tmrelationshiptherapy@gmail.com. We'd love for you to be a part of it. Now we're about to talk about the first date between me and Valerie. Valerie and I was supposed to go on our first date on July 31st, 1987. I had gotten dressed, but in my apartment, I had my brother, his friend, and my nephew who were staying with me for a week. And then Valerie shows up and she was going to be driving. So this is when Valerie stepped in and saw me and met my family and friend for the first time.
When I walked in and I saw all those guys, I spoke and I was rushing out the room to go so I can get back to my car because I felt uncomfortable being in the room with all those guys.
She had told me that one of the reasons why she got out of there is because of what her grandmother said. And what was that?
Never be in a room with a bunch of guys by yourself.
So she jetted out of the room. She left so fast trying to get out of that room with four guys. If you believe this or not, she walked smack dab into the wall.
Yes, I did, guys. I was trying to get up out of there, like my
Valerie
grandmama said.
walked into the wall. And then she finally found the door and she left. And I walked out behind her. And so we went on our date and we had a great time. We talked about talked to each other, we asked questions of each other, we got to know each other. Even on that first date, we got very deep. We talked about how many kids we wanted. I said four. Valerie, how many kids you wanted?
Two, a boy and a girl.
So she got her way. She got her way. I wanted four kids. I wanted two boys and two girls, but she got her way in that. But we had such a great time together that we really didn't want the date to end, but it had to end. So she was dropping me back off at my apartment and we kissed goodnight and we talked about doing another date in the very near future. But when I got back inside my apartment, asked my little brother, what did he think about Valerie? And this is exactly what he said. He said, I think she's fine, but can she see? And I said, why you say that? He said, man, she walked right into the door. Can she see? Because you don't need to have no woman in your life that can't see nothing. So we had a laugh about that. And after the date was on a Friday night, and I didn't call Val for over a week. Well, guess who called?
I called because I'm like, hey, we went out on a date and I thought it was pretty good. I think we had a great time. So I figured he would call me at least the next day, if not the next day, the next day. But, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. And like you said, a week went by. And then I start feeling a little bad, like, hey, maybe the date wasn't as great as I thought it was.
But in actuality, I was just reeling her in. I
Whatever.
really wanted her to be my lady, but I wanted to know that if she really wanted to be with me too. Sometimes in relationships, you've got to have mutual interest, because if there's not a mutual interest or a mutual connection, you don't want to enter into a relationship one-sided. And I found out then when she called me that she was interested in me just like I was interested in her. So that's how we had our first date. That's how we first met. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening to this particular episode. People ask me all the time, what is the secret to me and Valerie being married for 36 years? Where did we find our connection? I like to tell them one of the key things about our relationship is our ability to communicate with each other. Just like I have spoken about communication in so many episodes, but there's a genuine love that we have for each other. So my advice to you is get with someone that you can communicate well with, someone that you can trust, someone that has your back as well as you having their back, and somebody that you can grow old with, knowing that you love them unconditionally and they love you unconditionally. That will help you sustain a healthy relationship. And even knowing that situations and troubles are going to happen in the relationship, you have to know how to push your way through, because love is the foundation of what your relationship is built on. So if you have those things and continue to communicate, you too can find happiness in a relationship.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, it
It
takes
takes two
two
to
to
make
make
a
a relationship
relationship work.
work.
Thank you for listening to the Relationship Therapy Podcast with Tony and Valerie Miller. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Tune in next time for more insight on how to make your relationship better. If you have any questions, please email us at tmrelationshiptherapy@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, remember, it takes two to make a relationship work.